Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Billion Dollar Banker podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Perrone, and today I am so excited to have Carly with us. I think this is going to be a great episode to start the new year. Carly started her journey over 25 years ago with powerhouse retailers like Bloomingdale's, Neiman Marcus, Chopper, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Nicole Miller, and she loves helping busy women define their personal style. And from that passion, her own retail business emerged. She's a personal shopper. She has her own boutique store. And today we're going to be talking about how to dress for success, right? The impact that clothing has on professional opportunities. So, Carly, I'm so happy to have you here today.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's been fun catching up with you.
Yes.
We were talking about life and everything is good in your world. And love watching what you're doing. And I had to have you on here because I think our audience of entrepreneurs, a lot of professional women connected us.
Yep.
I want to know like who you're dressing out there in the area now that I'm thinking about this.
Well, I'll never tell. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a secret. Dressed by Carly.
I'm a pretty open book.
So tell us about yourself and your business. And I know you're here today to educate the audience, but it starts with your story.
Absolutely. So as you said, I'm actually a broadcast communications degree from Elon University. So this is like my comfortable zone. I like it. But I always love fashion. So right out of college, I started working retail, worked at Bloomies and just fell in love. I had kids at 30 and it gets really hard to do the retail grind with children, small children. Props to anyone who's doing it. So I just sort of pivoted and decided to start my own business and sort of see where that took me. And here I am like 15 years later.
Yeah.
You know, the accidental business that it is. I love it. I love what I do. I love dressing women.
I could tell. You know, a lot of people follow Carly on social and she's always got something new she's trying on. And we were talking about how important dressing for success is. So tell our listeners about just, you were starting a new year. What advice would you give? What tips would you give?
So we were talking a little bit about just inner confidence. And, you know, obviously clothing can be superficial, but so much of how we look and feel is tied into our projection of what we do for ourselves all day. So for example, when I get up in the morning, let's say I just grab what's on the hamper and I look like a pile of whatever, and I go about my day, I feel like I'm not making good choices. I probably grab a soda, maybe some French, like I'm making all the bad choices because I didn't start the day with that super confidence. Whereas if I start the day, take a shower, look in the mirror and love what I'm wearing, I go throughout my day with like great choices and it's a more powerful day for me. And I just think that everyone needs to think that way. Because you think like, oh, who cares what she was wearing? But really, yes, you do. It's going to personally affect you. And then you're going to project that all throughout your experiences through the day with other people, what you do, work.
That reminds me of there was that valedictorian speech about that guy that says like, make your bed in the morning.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I make my bed every single morning. So do my children. It's like the one thing I'm like, go back upstairs and make your bed. It's that small little thing.
It starts the whole day.
It sets the tone for your whole day.
And COVID got us into like horrible habits with personal, like dressing. Have you been taking a lot of people out of that space of
well,
back to office?
You know, it's funny. One of my probably biggest demos is stay-at-home moms who are sort of pivoting from the grind of like small like newborns, you know, spit up on you all day, that kind of thing. And they're starting to have a little bit of freedom. Maybe they're taking their child to daycare for a couple hours. Maybe they're going to preschool for a couple hours. And they've literally lost how to get dressed and like present themselves to the world, whether it be to the grocery store, a PTA meeting, something so small, but they don't, they want to look good, but they've lost their personal style, their personal sense of self.
And you know what it's like? I'm thinking to the listeners, it's like in every stage of our life, there's these times where we're kind of like, I don't want to say like reinventing, but like refreshing our look, how we feel. A lot of people this time of year start doing planning. And I think a part of that is building that confidence again in how you feel when you go out, especially in, you know, I'm in sales, I'm in mortgage banking, like you show up in a room full of people and you present on something, you want to feel good. It empowers you. It gives you confidence.
Yes. I think, well, we touched on this a little bit when we were talking before the pod started, but outfit recipes are like if you don't have an outfit recipe, you're missing out.
Tell us what that means. Like everyone's like, what's that?
What does that mean?
I'm lost. I'm more lost than I thought.
It can mean something different to so many different people. So for example, like a stay-at-home mom, an outfit recipe might be a great fitting pair of jeans, a really nice sweatshirt, a pair of sneaks that she absolutely loves to wear. But when she puts on that sweatshirt, those jeans and those kicks, she's killing it at the grocery store. She's picking that kid up with a little pep in her step. Now for another client, I have a client who does like TED Talks.
Okay.
Her outfit recipe is like an amazing silk blouse and a beautiful boot cut jean. She likes a dark denim jean. She wants to look approachable but professional. So whenever I see a great silk blouse, I'm always texting her, hey girl, I got to. So your outfit can mean something different. For me, like I showed up in a Canadian tuxedo today. I love a denim on denim look. That's not going to be for everybody. But when I put this on, a great fitting denim shirt and a great pair of jeans, I feel like $1 million and I'm ready to take on the world. Everyone needs to have an outfit recipe. And whether you, hire a professional to help you with that, or you decide to just go in your closet and give yourself a few hours to sort of play around with trying things on and saying, wow, I feel really good in these pants. This blazer makes me feel really, really professional and good. So next time I have a meeting or I'm presenting or a seminar, I should use this blazer. Let me style an outfit around that.
Where do you feel like most people struggle with this, with wardrobe and outfit recipes?
Listen, this is like my wheelhouse. I could create outfits all day long and be so happy. But I think for a lot of people, it gives them anxiety. It's overwhelming. They don't know where to start. And that's where a professional is helpful, because they can sort of just come and talk to you and sort of like, they want to know what your life is like. Like you dress real sharp. You're always in a perfect suit. You like your designer lines. You got a great watch on.
Shout out to Michael Duru.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Like at some point you don't want to get that anxiety we were talking about before. You got to get dressed. Like, oh my God, what am I going to wear? Yeah.
Yes. There's so many things to be stressed about in life. Stress is coming at us from every angle today. Getting dressed should be simple and easy, but it is so important. It's kind of like wrapped in that self-care. If you're going to exercise, you're going to eat well, you're going to take care of your body, you got to take care of the whole self.
How and you're absolutely right. But how would people, let's say they don't have a personal stylist, right? Or maybe one day they're going to get one, but how do they stay up on the trends? Because things change so often. Like the looks are coming back. I'm still trying to like put a pair of baggy jeans on. Like the second I could do that, like, but you kind of feel like, I guess there's different trends for different eras in your life and things like that.
For sure.
Tell us about how people can like just stay in touch with how things are changing.
Sure. So, listen, social media has made it like so amazing for everyone. You can be broke and still be able to start. So Pinterest is a great resource.
Okay.
If you're not on Pinterest, that's a really great way. And what you just do is go to the top and search outfit inspiration, great work outfits, teacher outfits. And you can do the same thing on Instagram as well. You can go in there and hashtag outfit inspiration, outfit ideas, stay-at-home mom, because everyone who's doing that and putting those outfits together is going to be using all of those, those hashtags. And you might not resonate with one girl. You're like, oh God, what is she wearing? That doesn't work for me. But eventually you'll find somebody's aesthetic you like, follow them, start to copy their outfits. There is nothing wrong with copying someone's look if it feels authentic to you. If you put that on and you're like, wow, I really like this. That's your personal style. Go with it.
You can get ideas from other people.
Yes.
Pinterest's a great spot to go.
Yes.
But tell us about how do people find you? How do people get started with someone like you? So
right.
a lot of people might not even know, like, I've never even heard of a personal shopper. I don't know one.
Right,
but
right.
How does it start? How does someone find you? And what are the first steps you do to identify how to help them?
Sure, for sure. So a couple of great things to know are Nordstrom, like if you don't live in this area, Nordstrom's, Bloomies, Neiman's, they all have personal stylists and shoppers.
Okay.
So if you live in an area that you can't get in touch with this, or me, you don't live near us at the Jersey Shore, you can go into any of those stores and they'd be happy to help you. So that's number one. And what they do is they just curate looks for you in a fitting room so you don't have to go roaming around the store for hours endlessly, not knowing what looks good together.
They know where to go. They know where to find
They'll help you with alterations and all that good stuff. So that's number one. As far as finding a personal stylist, the power of Google is for sure there. And you can sort of, if you're a good personal stylist, you should have some testimonial stuff going on. You should have links to all of your social media showing sort of what you do. And you'll be able to get somebody's vibe and their energy and see if it matches with yours. As far as me, when I start with someone, if they reach out, I'm very referral based. So I'll have somebody who's a client for a long time will be like, oh, someone might say to them, I love your outfit, and they might give my information. Right. We can either do a phone date. I have a huge questionnaire that people fill out for the first time that we work together. I'm very lucky that I have a lot of long-term clients, so I get to know their personalities, and so it becomes very, very easy to shop for them. And I'll send them things as I see them because I know
just
that,
like thinking of
them. Yes, I'm always thinking of them. I always say, like, I know my client size is better than I know my kids' birthdays.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
So true.
How about like the closet? Like, are you going in there? Like, how often should you recommend for people to like refresh that closet and get rid of the old and in with the new?
Yeah, you'd be shocked. Like most people wear like 10% of their wardrobe. Is that not wild?
Wow.
Yeah. It's like, that's like, I read it somewhere. I can't like
verify
literally tell you where.
We'll put the source in the comments section.
But most people wear like 10% of their wardrobe, and then they look like they have a lot of clothes, but they're not reaching for any of it. So they're not buying new things because they feel like they have so much, but then they're always feeling like they have nothing to wear.
Yeah.
Like,
and they don't want to throw anything out too. Like, what do you say to that person?
A lot of people hold on to old sizes. So I think it's unrealistic it's unrealistic to think that people are going to be able to do it all the time. I do it all the time, but twice a year. When the seasons are significantly changing.
Figure out what you want to let
And
go
what
of.
I always say is if you didn't grab it that entire winter, like if you've got a sweater that you literally did not wear the entire winter, it's time to let it go. You didn't want it. You don't want it. And it's sitting in your closet taking up space that should be for something that you are going to grab and are going to wear and are going to feel good in.
Right.
I do closet makeovers. A lot of people do closet makeovers. Those are my favorite. You need to have a current, fresh wardrobe.
Do you partner with someone on like the functionality of your closet too? Like, I did mortgage finance. You open up these closets in some of these houses and you're like, okay, there's one place to hang things. Like, how do you set it up? Like, do you partner with people to get a real good closet going?
I probably should, but I don't have any long-standing relationships. But I have a couple of girls that I know that do like super organization. Like I'll organize, but I'm really there for outfit creation and making sure that we're keeping things you love and want to wear. But there are a lot of girls actually local to here that do like the really make everything look perfect, fold the shirts perfect, give you a little bit more of that. But I'm a little bit more into like the actual meat and bones of what you're wearing. Yeah.
As you're talking, I'm thinking about like all these different areas in our lives where we hire like a coach or a trainer. Like, if it's like when you're looking at your physical fitness, you want to get in shape, you go to someone that's going to help you get there. Your business, you want business coaching. I've been doing business coaching lately. You want someone like once a week, once every other week that'll help hold you accountable, get things in order. But this is something I feel like people leave on the table a little bit. Like,
I think a lot of people think it's very unaffordable, and I have to tell you, it's really not. If you find someone, like, let me give you an example. I have a roll in the rack service. We talked about this a little bit.
Yes.
So what that service is based on a survey that you would fill out. We would figure out your needs and wants and your sizes. I would go to a few different stores and probably pull from the stuff that I personally carry. Okay. But then I'd also go to other stores and make sure we had everything we needed.
Oh my gosh.
And I'd come to your house. I roll in a rack. That's why I call it the roll in the rack service. Come to your house, roll in the rack, and then we mix and match with the things you already own and wear. So it might be your blazer, and then we're just adding a fresh new pair of jeans that fit you better than the ones you have. Okay. And we take pictures of everything. So you've literally got like a Rolodex of outfits. So it's stress-free. You're now just looking at these pictures like, oh yeah, that's what I'm wearing. That's what I'm wearing. I felt good in that. Yep. And it's $100 service fee. $100 freaking bucks.
That's great.
Now, granted, you are going to buy some of the clothing that's rolled in, so it will cost you a little bit more.
But the fee to have you go there,
the fee to have me go there is nominal.
Wow,
and think about what you're getting from that.
And you're not redoing your whole closet, right?
No, this is more of just a service to create outfits for you to wear in the season ahead.
Tell us about how to organize our closet. Like, if you're not there with us helping us, should it be designed by outfit? Should it be color coordinated? How do you?
I am more of a fan of the lifestyle piece. So, for example, like going out blouses and sexier tops should be in one area.
Okay.
Jeans for casual, one area. All of my workout stuff is in one area. T-shirts and tanks in one area, and then my more professional stuff in one area. So I tend to do it, but everyone's brain works different.
What do you fold? Like, what goes in a drawer? Like,
what goes in a drawer? Honestly, I hang.
You hang everything. That's what I start like
underwear and stuff goes in a drawer.
Put it in the closet,
that's what it is.
right?
You forget about it.
It's impossible. It's in there, and you're like digging, and then it's a mess to try to find something.
That was what happened. I watched this thing. What was the girl, the Asian woman who used to do like the. Oh God, I can't.
You're blanking out on it.
Yes, it's driving me nuts.
She did like organization.
Yeah, she did, and it was like freeing your space, getting rid of everything. And one of her tips was to fold all of your denim. But I found when I folded all my denim, I'm like, which pair is that? And then I'd have to pull them all out, and then the whole pile got messed up, and then I'm refolding.
You're like,
so
yeah, and then you're like doing double the work.
Yeah, I hang my denim.
Now, what would you recommend? Like, this is all about like dressing for success. And so if you're listening to this and you're thinking like, I don't have the confidence I want in business or in life, or I'm just got done like with 2 young kids at home. I'm getting back into the work scene, or I'm single again. I'm sure you come up with those situations too.
Yep.
If you're thinking about like, that's you, I need to get this together. This is like, I think it's such an empowering thing to feel good about how you look, right? In business, especially, and in life. I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that was.
Hopefully
either.
You're not about to fall right now.
I was going to say, I'm going to be this tall in 5 seconds.
But what would you say? Well, like, do you have a recommendation? Like, how many pairs of jeans? How many sweaters? Is there like kind of a rule of thumb? If people have too much, they're not wearing it. Like,
yeah. Well, I feel like it depends on what your life is like. I mean, for me, my life is a lot more casual, and I can show up to something like this in denim. If you are going to an office that has a really strict dress code and you have to wear suiting, then obviously you're going to lean more towards suiting. What I think everyone should have in their closets, a great pair of bootcut jeans, a fantastic white crisp collared shirt,
Okay.
a great fitting blazer in a classic color like navy, black, tan.
Mm-hmm.
One power suit, meaning a suit that's meant to be worn together. So it could be black,
Okay.
it could be navy. And this is separate from the blazer. The
Mhm.
blazer is going to be a little bit different because that's something you compare with jeans and a cool belt and a white t-shirt and wear it a little bit more casually. This power suit is more for a professional person.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should have a great black cocktail dress. And I feel bad because there's probably men listening too. I know you
Right.
have
Right.
both demos.
Yep.
So I could, I'm a little bit more leaning into the women's, a great pair of nude pumps.
Mhm.
I mean, I could go on and on. I don't want to bore everyone. I would happily, if anyone wants to reach out, I can give them
would
sort of
set up like, here's the
Yes.
baseline, few things that you
for
should
sure.
have,
for sure.
and then you'll show them how to kind
Mix
of like
and match those
interchange
pieces.
that.
It's
Yeah.
like Garanimals. It's like that blazer now can be worn with this, this, and this.
Mhm.
And that's what's so great about that role in the rack service, or if you have access to get someone into your home,
Mhm.
because what they will do is just create outfits that you wouldn't even think of.
Right.
I mean, that's the feedback I get from those. Those are the most rewarding for me. I get feedback when I leave. They'll like message me later, like in tears, like, oh my God, I have like outfits for like the next 20 days. And I don't even I never even would have thought about putting those things
that
together.
must feel really like rewarding.
It is.
'cause
That's why I
you're-
keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because everyone's so great.
And so your clients are like they're just feeling like kind of like re-empowered.
Re-empowered.
Yeah.
Yes. Like themselves again, or the better version of themselves,
Mhm.
or a new version of themselves. I mean, I just feel like the motto is sort of dress with intention, and you feel better and you do better.
Mhm. And invest in yourself, right?
Yeah.
Invest in yourself, because it's an investment in you that's going to help you get to the next level in whatever area of your life
Yeah.
that you're looking to go there. It's
Yeah.
like we were talking before about trends and how to find them, but like some certain people, like I think about in my life that I know, I'm like, I know they're trying to kind of like reinvent, like what's in style, what's not, what's appropriate for my age,
Right.
what's not appropriate
Well,
for
that's
my age.
so tough too. And I always feel like one of the things I say, personal style is a tricky thing because, for example, like skinny jeans right now are supposed to be out.
Mhm.
But I have like 3 pairs of skinny jeans that make me feel like $1 million. My butt
Mhm.
looks good in them.
Mhm.
I love the way that they look with heels. So at some point in your life, you get to a place where you're like, okay, I love trends. No one loves trends more than me.
Right.
But I'm also not going to let go of something that I feel good in just because somebody out there says that it's no
Mhm.
longer in style.
Right.
So you have to balance that for sure.
Right. So wear what
Where you
feels
feel good in.
Right.
Yeah. Where what you feel good in and
Right.
powerful in.
Is there anything that's like going away that like you should stay away from? Like if you're some kind of trend from the past that you should just
Oh yeah, I mean like the juicy sweatsuits. I mean just like they tried to bring them back again like 2 or 3 years ago. It's just never happening.
not
again.
going to
Not
happen.
happening.
Yeah.
I love a good matching jogger set, but
Mhm.
it shouldn't have any writing on your tush, and it shouldn't be a cropped sweat jacket. It should just
Mhm.
let's leave those behind and never pair heels with them,
Mhm.
like J-Lo used to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Heels with the juicy
Heels with the
couture.
juicy. Yes.
You got to have like the earring with
Yes.
like your
with the-
name on it or
yes.
something.
We're never doing that again. It's never coming
It's
back.
not coming back.
I will not let it come back.
How about for your clients? Do you suggest like makeup, hair? Like, do you kind of hook them up with the whole package? You're like, hey, I'm going to dress you. You got to take care of the rest.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, listen, I love recommending. I get a lot of who does your hair, that kind of stuff like that. I'm
Mhm.
happy to give recommendations, but I'm certainly not,
Mhm.
that's not where I'm educated or have a ton of experience. So
Yeah.
I try to,
You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll refer you to someone.
Gotcha. Yeah, because those could like everything's so important, right?
Yes,
like your
it
hair,
is.
your like the whole look. You want to feel great when you go out, and I thought that's why I thought this would be such a great episode to start us off,
Yeah.
because ultimately, a lot of people are entrepreneurs in business that listen, but who reaches out to you the most? Like, what are you getting? Because the name of your company, tell us, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
name of your company. How did that come about? I don't want people to think it's only for
I know. Well,
one
that's
demographic.
so. What's funny is I'm 45, so
Okay,
it's hilarious that
forever 30.
it's forever. I say eternally 30 something fashion. I'm gonna have to like change my tagline. So I started my business when I turned 30.
Okay,
And had my
Wow.
first son. I was like, I'm going to start something. And originally it was a blog. Blogs were so huge.
Mhm.
Fashion blogs were so huge. So it started with that. I never in a million years dreamt that it would still be standing for, 15 years later when I'm
Wow.
45. And when I turned 40, I said to my husband, do you think I should like rebrand? He's like, dude, you've spent so much time and energy with this 30 something fashion. You have a logo.
Yeah.
We're not rebranding. So,
Right.
so I
Right,
decided
the owner
to
of Forever 21 is probably
yeah,
not
well,
21.
yeah.
Not anymore.
Eternally 30 something fashion is really what it is. But yes, I mean, I do feel like there's something to be said for 30s. It's kind of like when you pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
Whether you have children or not,
Mhm.
you've sort of like gotten a little further in your career. Maybe you've bought a
Yes.
home. Like, so it is
Right.
like a pivotal time that I
Right.
feel like people redefine themselves. So I feel
Mhm.
like okay with it. But
Every decade you get a little bit of
Yeah,
a different look
yeah.
going, and
But yeah, no, I outfit people in their 20s. I mean, I'll do clients' daughters, but then I'll go all the way, all the way up to
Mhm.
60 and 70 years old.
And we were talking earlier about how you try on the outfits that come your way. Like,
Yeah,
tell
we're
us
talking about social media. So yes.
Tell people, like, why is that important to see an outfit on someone versus on a rack?
Right. So, well, a couple of things. And the reason that people are always like, why do you put them in your stories? And you're always, I mean, they don't say why, but they're like, oh, people comment on it.
Right.
I feel like it's important to talk through the fit of things based on my body and what it might mean for your body. So for example, and that's probably why I have no voice today, because I'm constantly in my stories talking things through, because I'll be like, I'm not particularly busty. I have a little bit of extra room in this on the bust. So if you're a little bustier, this might be a great look for you. Or, this is a little fitted through the hip. So I would size down or size up. Because when let's say you see Nordstrom's comes through with a promo video.
Right.
No one's really telling you how that fits, or how even they have a new thing. Nordstrom's has a new thing where they actually have like a sales associate talk through the garment, but they're not in it. So it's like they're just talking about like the fabric content and stuff. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, you got to try it on so you can, communicate to the consumer how it's fitting, how it feels. I don't know.
I saw something that you tried on recently and you were like, I think it was like a dress or something. You're like, I needed to take it up because it was just too long. It didn't look good that way.
It looked sloppy. Like, it needed to be brought up to. So I wanted to show people, if you tailored it to you, how it could look. Because that's the other thing too is, and we could talk about bespoke fashion. I mean, listen, that's an investment for sure. But really, most of us should be tailoring our clothes. They make, they make like one size for everyone. Not everyone is the same. We all have such different body types. So you obviously don't want to tailor everything that you buy, but if you really want something to look super sharp and special, you should probably need to meet a good tailor. If you're in business like you are and you're doing seminars, presentations, you're standing in front of people, you should really be spending some time with a tailor to make sure things look like they were made for you.
Well, you realize, like, when you if you're listening, you haven't been to a tailor, like, you'll realize when you go how many measurements there are. You're like, no wonder nothing fits me the right way.
Like, I mean, the craziest thing, I've tailored white t-shirts because I loved the fit through my body, but then the sleeve, I have thin arms, so the sleeve would hang. I'm like, that's going to annoy me. So I've had like them taking it. Like, I think the tailor is like the best kept secret of fashion.
Yeah.
You have no idea how many, well, a lot of people don't, and it shows, and a lot of people do, and they look fantastic.
I love that.
Yeah.
So now, so with you, people don't actually have to like go shopping at a store. Right?
No, I'll bring everything. I prefer to shop on my own for people and bring it to them.
So how do you walk someone through what's my style? Like, if you were talking to them consultatively, like, you're gonna ask them, is it like a questionnaire that you do with them?
I have a questionnaire. It's pretty detailed. And then if I have questions, I'll always be like, let's hop on the phone, because this feels like. And then listen, the first time I work with someone, it's always a little bit of, there might be more no's than yeses the first time, but then the next time that we work together, way more yeses than no's. It's almost always, oh shit, I've blown my budget. Like, we got to scale some stuff back because you've brought too much that I love. Because I really tap into, and that's the difference between.
Now I have a problem.
Exactly. Now, how many credit cards can you take at once?
You'd be a great Valentine's Day gift for wives, though, right?
I agree.
We should put out.
I actually, that's a great. I mean, I have a couple of husbands that I do like under the Christmas tree for, that I just wrapped up, obviously through the holidays, where I shop for their wives and they put it all under the Christmas tree and I wrap it for them and they look like freaking rock stars. And make it easy. Yeah. So any men that are listening, if you wanted this for your wife, and again, you were asking my demo. Yeah. Honestly, it's a lot of stay-at-home moms who just want to look polished and great. And
that's great.
They go to PTA meetings, they go to charitable events, they go to a lunch with their friends. They just want to feel good and look good.
They're in all these different atmospheres.
Yes.
Because your style's not the same everywhere you go, right?
No.
It's depending on where you are, you might change the look.
Yes.
How about the change of season? Like, at what point, I mean, we were just at Zara the other day. Everything's like 60% off. Like, is there a time of year that's best to shop?
Well, I mean, right now is a fantastic time of year to shop. Right. And you can get some killer deals on denim, because denim is not changing that much between the winter and the spring. But they've got it. There's new washes coming in, and they've got to clear out that stock. So if you're looking for, and classics like button down, striped shirts, all that kind of stuff, you can clean up on some classic stuff like that. Yeah.
And so now, because a lot of people they just don't even like the process of shopping, right? Like, there might be some people out there like, I just don't want to go to the mall. I don't want to. I was just talking about this the other day. Like, you go to the mall, you have to carry around these bags.
Oh yeah.
There's no carts or anything. Yeah, you have a purse. You might have a kid. You might have you go to one store and you're like, I just got to get back to the car. I can't carry all this shit.
I know, it's so true.
So like, people don't like the experience of shopping.
I mean, I think it used to be like a lot more glamorous, because it was a lot more like we went to the mall to like hang out.
Mhm.
Like I remember like when I was younger or even in my 20s, like you went to the mall and you'd like see a friend,
Mhm.
you'd grab a pretzel, you do whatever.
Mhm.
Everything, it's such a ghost town at the malls now. It's such a shame. It really is. Retail's changed so much.
It has.
And so it used to be like you'd go just to pick up a shirt so you weren't sweating to death. Now we feel like if we're going to the mall, we better get it all done.
Mhm.
And so yeah, you're like, kill me now. I've got like my arms are about to fall off.
Your arms are about to fall off. You can't even. I was saying someone needs to create like maybe this could be like 30-something valet or something where like you get like a valet service, like drop your stuff that you bought, like come get it before you leave.
I love that.
And you don't have to carry everything with you. And you probably keep people in the mall longer.
Longer, yes, because they could just keep dumping stuff off and get everything done that they needed to get done. No, the mall's tough right now.
Yeah. All right, totally separate question.
Oh, yeah.
Eagles fan or are you a Washington fan now? Or neither?
Well, so my dad is born and raised in Northeast Philly, and he's a diehard Eagles fan. So even though I grew up in DC and cheered for the Skins first, well, they're not. They're Commanders, whatever. Sorry,
the Commanders.
Not get used to
that. I know. It's
I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards the Eagles.
Okay, all right.
It's a family thing.
Don't judge for the Giants fans out
right?
there.
I know. When my husband's a Giants fan, somehow I wrangled him in.
But Eagles. Oh, you've converted him to.
No.
Okay.
He just tolerates.
He still
me.
loves you. Okay, that's good.
He still married me.
That's good.
So.
Well, it'll be competitive. How about the kids? Are they like? Do they choose a side?
My older one isn't really that big into football. My younger one is just a fan of all of it. He loves betting, and he's 12, so we're in trouble.
Oh no,
we're in trouble.
Hopefully he's good at it.
We're in trouble.
How about athletic gear? Like, how about dressing for the gym?
Yep.
Dressing for
absolutely
working
help
out?
clients with that.
Okay.
Well, athleisure is such a huge space now. You know, I mean, it used to be like you would never be caught dead in your spandex that you worked out in out for the day. But really, and that's what's cool about that is, you know, like brands like Aloe, you know, have really transitioned to that street style kind of. So you can almost take your spandex pieces and move them into afternoon events and things like that without looking like, oh, she doesn't care or she gave up.
Yeah.
You add a sharp like vest over a denim shirt left open with a white tee underneath, your leggings and a great kick, and you look put together.
Right. So totally acceptable to be
totally
walking around in like workout gear most of the time.
Yeah.
Even if you're not working out.
Even if you're pretending.
You're like, I haven't worked out in 4 days, but I've had
I have had leggings on every one of those days.
But there's something about, especially in like a gym atmosphere too, that's kind of like, that could be an intimidating atmosphere. You might, you know, maybe you don't go to the gym today, or you're like, you want to make sure you feel good when you walk into a gym. Yeah. You don't know how to use the equipment.
Well,
I feel
you know,
like
it's
that's
funny
a big
that
space.
you say that because I know you work out. I just started strength training. Like I used to just be a cardio girl and played a lot of tennis.
Okay.
So, and I mean, tennis clothes are so easy. The skirts are so freaking cute. You don't really have to think much about it.
Tennis and golf.
Like, I mean, it's just it's so cute. It's so cute. Yeah. So I started strength training at this gym called Sweat 440, and there are so many cute workout outfits that are like fitted pants and then like the half tops. But I wore one and I went, and then I felt like I didn't even really work out that hard because I was so worried about like not looking fit, like when I bent over. And I was like, okay, so I cannot. So I know that I need to wear a loose fitting shirt and spandex to the gym to feel good. And it's another example of, you know how you feel in things. And I didn't feel confident. I left the gym that day and was like, I'm never wearing something like that again. I did not feel good about myself, and I didn't even work out to my full potential because I was so consumed by that.
Like, so,
and you can parlay that into, again, if you're giving a presentation and you don't like the way you look, you feel like you look sloppy, or you grabbed something you didn't really care for, you are not going to be your best self in that presentation.
Right.
Hands down.
Right.
So you really have to invest.
That's a good point too. Yeah, you want to show up as the best. We were talking about the other day, like when you're cooking and you're in a good mood, like the food comes out good.
Better.
But if you're like, you know, you're pissed off, everyone's like, what the fuck did you make today? Like, this is horrible.
Well, I wouldn't know because I don't cook.
You don't cook. All right. Well, you can only do so many things.
That's right.
That's so funny. So yeah, well, you know what? I think like what you wear is it's also a reflection. It's like they say, like your smile's your business card.
Yep.
You start to notice if someone's not taking care of themselves physically, right?
Sure.
Especially in business, and first impressions are so important, and how people see you.
Totally.
So what would you say for people that like, so is this like a subscription? So like once somebody signs up with you, you come in, you do the questionnaire, you come into my house, let's say, you've ripped up the closet, like, you know what my style is now. How often do I get clothes? Like,
right. So for me, it's not a subscription. It's just you would remain on the Rolodex, and I give priority to the clients that I've already worked with. Okay. So if I'm a little too busy, I'm not going to accept a new client. I'm just going to keep going with the women that I outfit. Understood. And it's pretty much seasonal usually. Okay. And then again, like it might be seasonal where we get, 6 or 7 outfits going, and then I see a blouse come in a few months later that is so you. I'm going to hit you up.
Okay.
And if you don't have the budget for it, you say, no, thanks, Car. Thanks. I appreciate you.
I'm good.
Or, oh my God, so glad you reached out. I have a presentation. I would love that. Send it to me.
And then you mail everything out.
I'll either mail it, or if you're local, I'll drop it off.
You could drop it off.
Yep.
And now you do pop-ups. You work with different organizations to help with things?
Yes.
Okay.
So I love doing charity-driven stuff. It's always been on my radar for as long as I can remember. And so I call myself the pop-up queen. Pop-ups are sort of huge now. I mean, everybody does them. These little things around town where you're getting a retailer come in that maybe you didn't have access to, or wouldn't shop with otherwise. So yeah, I do them at my house. I'll do them at other people's houses. There can be a charity component tied in. There cannot be.
Okay.
It's always a lot of fun. I just have a ton of clothes people come try on. It's chaos. It's a bunch of women getting together, but it's really fun because it's always dynamic, awesome women. It's a way to like network, have a great time with people who are like-minded and into fashion and into feeling good and looking good. Everyone tries everything on. You leave with a great bag of shit.
Yep.
And
I think you did it over at St. Laurent. I saw you had like a pop-up there. Was that just for like the social members?
Yes. Well, they invited those and then we put it out to the public as well. I had a couple clients stop by. It was a really nice night. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's it's another example of, fashion can bring, or clothing or that kind of thing can bring people together just to have a good connection.
Yeah.
And I'm from the mindset that I'm not a pushy salesperson. That's just not my vibe. It's never been my energy.
Yep.
People will come to you. So I think my pop-ups are popular because you don't have to feel pressure to shop.
Yeah.
You can come, to see what it's about, hang out with people, chat, have some cheese from the cheese board, have a glass of wine. If you see something you love, great. If you don't, you'll get something next time.
And then you get other people's opinions.
Yes,
oh my God, it looks like you're like, oh, you like that? I didn't know if it was good or not. Like, that's good.
And it's crazy. I've had like people become really good friends from meeting each other at my pop-ups,
really cool.
which is always really, rewarding.
How about accessorizing? Like any tips for our audience on how to accessorize the right way?
I think in a more traditional work environment, probably simple, classic is better. Great diamond stud is always a go-to. Small hoop like I have on today is always a great go-to. Linked small gold necklace always adds a little bit of glam, but nothing over the top. Great watch is always a good recommendation. And then I think women should always invest in nice belts.
Okay.
That's
thing.
they can make a really simple, very plain outfit look very put together with just an addition of an accessory like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then how about like what your price range? Like, there's always like that debate of like, do I need to spend a lot of money to have a great pair of shoes or a great outfit?
Yeah.
What would you say to someone like that?
I think the biggest thing for me is just, I do think that there are some things you should invest in. I'm not a huge fan of synthetics. So like shoes that are going to hurt your feet or make your feet sweat. I would say
nobody wears Christian Louboutin. Like they look amazing. No one can survive.
I just wore one out Friday night. I have a pair. I went to a friend's 50th.
That's why you were crawling when you walked.
I was literally crippled. My husband had to. I like walked barefoot back to our hotel room.
Yeah,
which
you
is like
can't.
Disgusting to say out loud, but I literally couldn't walk.
Yeah, no, you can't. Nobody.
They're so beautiful at the start of the night, but. No, I believe in comfortable, but I do believe in investing, probably in that $100 to $200 price range. They don't need to be $500 pairs of shoes, but they should be quality, comfortable. They shouldn't squeak when you walk, like that kind of thing.
Right.
And then I think bags and belts should be real leather. Invest in those.
Okay.
But as far as clothing, I'm not a fan of Shein and things like that, but you could dress amazing from Banana Republic, from Gap, from Old Navy. You do not need to spend a fortune. The items just have to look good on you, fit you properly, and you have to feel good in them.
And then some accessories you want to maybe invest a little bit more in, right? Because you can wear them. They'll last a long time.
Well, that's it. Like a white shirt, eventually the armpit stain's going to come because you wear deodorant. You're going to spill something. You're going to have to invest in a new white shirt. So I'm not saying that you should spend $300 on a white shirt.
Right.
But a belt is something that you're going to have for years.
Right.
Years and years and years.
So what's the number one tip to someone that's like, I have all these clothes in my closet. I know I own them only wearing 10%, like you said before. Like, what would you tell them to do to like they can't let go? They have so many things. I always hear people say like, I have so many things I don't wear. What would you,
So if they're not ready to hire a professional, what I would say is grab a really good friend.
Okay.
Offer them some wine.
Okay.
Or coffee if you don't drink. And have them come over and give you honest opinions. Try everything on. This is what you have to do. Try everything on. And if it doesn't fit, you have to let it go. Because we're never going to be that size again. And even when you do get that size again, will you even want to wear that? Or is it just the point of being that size again?
Yeah.
You just have to get in that mindset. And you do need like kind of a tough love friend to be like, girl, you are not wearing that skirt.
You wore them since high school.
Dude, like you are not wearing that. Your son is going to college and those are from when you were pregnant with him. Like whatever that circumstance is. So I would just say, and then try everything on. And then piles, donate, consign, and keep. Those are my 3 main piles. So donates are things that, are out of style, but maybe they could have some life for someone and dress for success, or, a deserving, a woman who's left a violent situation and just needs like a great suit. Maybe it's a little outdated for you, but for her, it will work perfectly.
Right.
So those things should be donated to charitable causes.
Okay.
Then consignment is maybe things that you can make some money off of. Let's say you have a Gucci belt that you just can't fit in anymore. That might be some money you could get back.
You could get back.
Yeah. And then the pile to keep. And that all goes back in.
And now when you're shopping for someone, where are you shopping? Are they saying to you like, hey, I love these stores, these 3 stores?
For me, no. I mean, I think that probably depends on the personal stylist that they're working with. I'm sure some people do that.
Okay.
For me, I have brands that I love the quality of, tried and true. I know that they work. I wear them personally. So I believe in them. So I'm going to do that. And then I'll obviously splurge for some things, and maybe I work with a few different boutiques that carry some other brands as well that I don't carry. But yeah, I like to just do my own thing. I don't like to be pigeonholed by a particular brand. I like to see it, love it, pull it.
Okay. I love that. Yeah. That's good, because it might not be a brand that someone's thinking of.
Exactly.
Maybe they've been at a certain store forever, and that's the problem, half the problem. So 30-something fashion, if people wanted to order, do you have all these clothes that you kind of hand select available on your website?
So I need a staff. So the power of social media, things sell out so quickly on social media. Oftentimes I can't get them up on my website in time.
Okay.
So they come, I try them on, and if I sell through most of them, they never make it to my site. Right now my site is very bare because it's that transition time. We've got everything on sale. We're waiting for new stuff to come in. But yes, I mean, I try and get 60% of the items up on my site.
All on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can
But
shop
people
that
can
way.
follow you at Carly Walko. That's CarlyWalko, and everything will be, all your handles and everything will be in our description. And they could check you out there, and you're constantly trying on fashion, new things, showing people new styles. I mean, your page is amazing.
Oh, well, thank you.
So what do you want to leave our audience with here? Like, if there's one takeaway for you for 2025 in the world of fashion.
Well, I said something earlier and it kind of stuck with me. So now it's going to be like my new motto, I think, is dress with intention, feel better, and do better. If you take the time to invest in yourself, I think magical things can happen.
Yeah.
So
and
let's go with that.
I think that's great. No, because intentionality, right? Like, you have an intent to really do your best to invest in yourself and your look. And, my hope is that this can bring some inspiration into your life so that you do want to like take yourself to the next level in whatever you do. We should always be evolving and growing in life and learning new ways to do things.
Absolutely.
Trying to improve. So this is such a great way to get started.
Well, this was a really fun conversation. Thanks for having me. It's always so good to see you.
I'm so happy that you came today. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the Billion Dollar Banker podcast. Go visit Carly. Go check out her site. Go check out her on social. And get yourself a fresh new wardrobe for 2025.
Sounds good. I'm here for you.
All right. Make it a great day, guys.
Take care.
Bye.